Exercise 2, Excel 2007 Environment Review, part of the Excel 2007 Core Exam Preparation Guide brought to you by Shiftkey Solutions. In this exercise, we will be reviewing the Microsoft Excel 2007 environment. Let's begin. Here, at the top of our screen, on the far left-hand side, we have a button called the Office button. And the Office button displays a list of commands related to things you can do with the workbook, such as opening, saving, printing, and sharing. On the right-hand side of our Office button, we have a small bar here. This bar is our Quick Access toolbar. This is where we save most commonly used actions, such as save, undo, redo, or in this case, Print Preview has been added to the Quick Access toolbar. On the right hand side of that, continuing at the top, this bar is called our Title bar, which is the same bar in every Microsoft Office program, the Title bar. The Title bar displays to us the name of the current book or file open, along with the name of the program that's open. Below this, we have our ribbon. And our ribbon expands from left to right and is made of three main components. The tabs, these are ribbon tabs. This is the Home, Insert tab, Page Layout tab, Formulas tab, and so on. Each tab has a series of groups. The Clipboard group, Font group, Alignment group, and so on are all on the Home tab, whereas the Insert tab will have Tables group, Illustrations group, Charts group, and so on. Each tab has its own series of groups, and within each group are a number of action buttons. Those are the three main elements of your ribbon. Again, the ribbon is made up of three main elements: tabs, groups, and action buttons. Now it's notable to mention that some of these groups will have a little icon here called the dialog box launcher. The dialog box launcher is associated with that particular group it's in. For example, the number dialog box is within the number group. And you'll also notice that not all groups will have a dialog box launcher. The Styles does not have one, Cells doesn't have one, nor does Editing. However, these do. As we continue on the far left hand side here, we have a name box. The name box indicates this active cell in our work area. Right now it says A1 because that's the active cell of my worksheet. On the right hand side of my name box is our formula bar. The formula bar is what we use to type formulas in, and moreover, the formula bar displays to us what's inside of a cell. This little button here is called our Insert Function button. If I click it, it'll display a Insert Function dialog box and gives us a list of functions to choose from. These are recently used functions. If I cancel this out, I can find the same function options in the Formulas tab here under Insert Functions. If I click this, it opens the same thing. So this is a quick way to get to that list. Come back to the Home tab. On the far right hand side of my formula bar here, I have a little button here called the Expand Formula Bar. If I click this, it'll open up my formula bar. In some cases, there are formulas that are so long that they need multiple lines. This way I can read all the lines in a formula. Let's click this to collapse it. As we continue on, here is our work area, and above our work area we have our columns. These are our column headers. Column A, column B, column C, and so on. And then we have our row headers. These are the headers of our row. 1, 2, 3, and so on. Where they intersect here in the far left corner, this little button does not give us a screen tip, but this is our Select All button. If I click this, it'll select the entire worksheet. So if I click this one time, it selects the entire worksheet. Again, that's our Select All button. And it only selects a worksheet worth of information. Now, within our work area here, we have our cells. So if I come to this cell here, I'll know the name of this cell by looking at the column headers and the row headers and reading what's off as being highlighted. So we have B6. This cell is B6. And I also can know the name of this cell by looking at my name box. It tells me B6. Within our active cell, one area to pay close attention to is the bottom right corner of our active cell. There's a small black box there. If I put my cursor on it, it turns into a plus sign. This little area, this little box is called the fill handle. At the bottom of our environment here, there are some navigation buttons. These navigation buttons navigate our worksheet tabs. And these are our worksheet tabs. By default, when we open a new workbook or Excel file, by default we get 3 worksheets. We can always click this little icon here to insert a new worksheet. If I click it one time, it'll give me worksheet 4. Click it again, it'll give me worksheet 5, and so on. Below this, we have our status bar. The status bar will give us additional information regarding information that's in our worksheet. If I have a series of numbers selected, it'll calculate that information here on the right hand side, giving me information at a glance, such as sum or average. On the right hand side of this, we have our view options. Right now I'm in normal view, but we also have page layout view and page break preview available to us. On the right hand side of this, we have our zoom level button. Right now I'm at 190% zoom level. If I click this, it'll open up my zoom dialog box, in which case I can change it by selecting one of the standard zooms, or I can click in my custom and type in a custom zoom and click OK. On the right hand side of my zoom level is my zoom bar. I can grab my zoom tab and click and drag to the left to zoom out, or click and drag to the right to zoom in. Just above this is my horizontal scroll bar. This scrolls me from left to right. On the right hand side over here is my vertical scroll bar. And the last item that I'll point out here in my environment review is the close, restore down, and minimize buttons. There are 2 sets here. You'll see that there's a set at the very top. These control the program itself. Below here, these will control the workbook that I'm in. So if I restore this down, it restores down and gives me a title bar of my workbook in the program. And you'll see that they've moved down to here. If I maximize it back, they'll return up here. Well, that concludes Exercise 2, Excel 2007 Environment Review. Thanks for joining me. Next will be Exercise 3, Create and Save a New Workbook.